Sky Cable TV Kenya, Beyond the Real.
In the night, I saw you, but it's different this time. In my mind, I call you, 'cause I want you by my side.
A very good and warm welcome to you, my dear viewer. Today being the 4th of January, the year 2022, my biggest hope is that your day is faring on very well. And welcome to Sky Cable TV News Bulletin at 1 p.m. I am Wanjiku, Njau. Moving on to our first story, just as the schools are set to open this week for the third term, the CS of Education, George Makoha, has been urged to keep his promise of communicating with the heads of school so that students remain in school as parents complain of the adverse effects left behind by the pandemic.
Have gone through a tough times and a very hard economic times, especially during the season of COVID-19. We have had a very abnormal school calendar, which has seen our parents running back-to-back for a series of around 4 terms without a break. We know it's a very tough time for all of us on matters raising school fees, and we would wish at this point of time to request our principals, school managements, and the relevant stakeholders in the education sector to be able to create a working program for our parents in terms of how they are going to pay for their fee. Professor Mokoha, the CS Education, had indicated that the parents, the principals should not actually send back children for fee at the beginning of this term. I wish to reiterate that he follows up on his statement, instruct the county directors, instruct the MOEs to be able to, the structures within the Ministry of Education to be able to monitor and ensure that his directive is implemented by the principals and the school heads.
Moving on to our next story, Kenyans from different parts of the country have decried the rising amount of transport fee in different places as people are still flooding bus stations as schools are set to open this week, and also as people are still getting back to their homes from the festive season.
Nilikuja around 11. Price ni 1400, so imepanda. Generally ilikuwa 1200 before, sasa imefika 14, but the service iko poa. Kuna move, it's moving fast. Siwezi complain personally. Watu wamejaa obviously cause unajua tena nini, watu wanarudi kazi. Yeah.
My name is Susan Omolo. I'm traveling from Eldoret to Nairobi. The fares have been hiked. I guess because people are going back to school. It's a bit hard on the common wananchi, but we have to move regardless. Yeah. Wako wengi, but I'm hopeful I'll get a seat somewhere. Yeah.
Kwa majina ni Martin Otieno, ni mkaaji hapa Eldoret. Nafanya biashara ya malimali hawking. Kwa saa hii kuanzia jana maneno ya back to school imefanya biashara kidogo imepik. Lakini kila wakati imekuwa chini juu. Hii maneno ya school fees imefanya watu kidogo wana concentrate kwa maneno ya shule sana. Haya, na upande wa biashara imekuwa chini, hata watu maneno ya Christmas watu walisahau juu ilikuwa ni maneno ya school fees. Ndio watu wanafikiria. Hata sasa maneno imeanza, watoto ni wengi, hata ukiona sasa hapa magari hakuna lakini watu ni wengi.
Leaders and residents from Siaya County are in fear from the rising number of the Omicron virus cases between people in the country. Their plea now being that people take seriously the precautionary measures as given by the Ministry of Health in the country so as to reduce the numbers.
Yeah, like an example of the latest one, for the latest information that was given, the positive cases were up to around 105 out of the sample that was tested, which was 214. So that was giving a positivity rate of around 49%. So the positivity rate is very high among the samples that have been tested. Basically, people have relaxed. Yeah, you see even now during the festive season, the Christmas time, people are just mixing freely. People are not minding about the mask, the distancing. It is something that's of concern, but yes, the transmission, and that's what has even made the transmission to rise the way you see. You see, out to around 50% positivity rate is too high. So it is a concern for CI, and it's something that people must just pick it up. Otherwise, if we don't take it serious, the transmission will increase. With the hospital, the burden of within the hospital will be high. We will get many cases and equally get many deaths. So I think everyone should up their game and really try to see how best we can really check on the issue of how to reduce the transmission.
Just as we are nearing the 2022 general elections, residents and leaders of Samburu County have continued to decry the rising numbers of insecurity cases and attacks in the area. Their biggest plea being that the government will beef up security in the area.
In Pra area, about 3,500 families are displaced because of conflict between these two communities. So our plea to both Pokot and Samburu community is to pursue dialogue so that we can coexist peacefully, especially as we go towards 2022 general election.
Most of these homes, people are not living here. So actually these are IDPs in their own land because of the conflict that has been there between the two communities. It's very unfortunate that the day we were seeing off the NPRs that we thank the government for at Ngote, then there was conflict at the market here, and two people lost their lives, including a police officer. So since that day, people have run away from their homes. Homesteads continue to be burnt, which is very unfortunate.
For the past several months, which has worsened this week, there's a lot of insecurity and conflict, which is brought about by our brothers Pokots. And I would like to say that for many years, we have actually accommodated them. And they come from a neighboring Baringo County. But we are peaceful people as Samburu.
In a bid to get into State House in the next general elections, the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, in his campaign tour in Kakamega County, has continually urged citizens to vote for him so as to continue the projects started by the current government.
Nyumba ya kila mwananchi. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Vile vile tulisema wakati tunabadilisha mambo ya elimu, tulisema tunajenga Technical Training College hapa Kakamega County, vile tumejenga katika counties zingine Kenya. Tumejenga Technical Training College mpya 6 hapa Kakamega County. Mimi mwenyewe nilikuja kuanzisha hii yenu ya hapa Kongoni. Sasa tuko na wanafunzi, ni kweli ama si kweli? Ya watu wa hapa Likuyani. Nilikuja nikaanzisha ya kule Lugari, iko pale mahali inaitwa Matete. Nilienda kuanzisha ya kule Mumias East na Mumias West na Navagolo, na sasa tunajenga ingine kule Khwisero, kwa sababu tunataka vijana wa kaunti hii, vile vijana wa kaunti zingine za Kenya, wapate nafasi ya kusoma ufundi, teknolojia na taaluma zile zingine zote, ndio tuwapange na ajira tukienda mbele. Watu wa Kakamega mnanielewa jameni? Ndio mimi nimekuja hapa leo. Sawa sawa? Na mimi nataka munisikize kwa makini. Sawa? Mimi nimekuja hapa leo kuwaambia tuko na nafasi mwaka huu, miezi 7 inakuja, tuko na nafasi ya kuunda serikali ingine tena. Nyinyi watu hapa Sinoko mko tayari tuunde hiyo serikali? Nyinyi mko tayari? Mko na uwezo ya kuamua? Sasa mimi nataka niwaambie, unajua hii Kenya iko na watu wenye kiburi na madharau. Sasa hebu munisikize, ati kuna watu wameamua kule Nairobi, ati kwa hoteli, wameenda kuketi kwa hoteli watu 50, ati kwa sababu wako na pesa, ati wanatuamulia ati nani anakuwa rais. Ati watu 50 kwa sababu wako na pesa, ati wanaenda wanasema watafanyia watu interview ati nani atakuwa rais. Mimi nataka niulize nyinyi watu wa Sinoko hapa, kuna watu mulituma kule Nairobi ati waende wafanyie wengine interview nani atakuwa rais?
And with that report from Kakamega County, we come to the end of our news bulletin here at Sky Cable TV News Desk at 1 p.m. News will come to you once it strikes 7 p.m. East African time in the evening. Don't forget to keep interacting with us on all our social media platforms, as we will keep on updating you on the recent events that are happening worldwide and also in the country. I am Wanjiku Njau.